Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Artistic Journalism on Ars Electronica Home Delivery. Here, so we are doing a live casting from Linz, Austria. So now around 8:30 here in Linz, very cold winter time, but yeah, I hope you enjoy today's session. What is music for you, and what AI can do for the music? Today, we are focusing on very unique combination, AI times music. Today's session will be consisted of two parts. One's introduction and also a special guided tour by using this exhibition together with Christoph Kremer again, who is the managing director at Ars Electronica Center. And as you observe very unique approach by artists to express such really innovative expressions, we can observe very interesting phenomenon and also situations created by artists. So today in this guided tour, we would like to introduce a couple of pieces to address what's the future of the music, but also in the relation to the media technologies and the history, we are also visiting to the histories, how humans develop art and music together with the technologies. And afterwards, after creating such kind of unique dialogues about history, media, and art and the creativity through the exhibition, the second part, after 10 minutes break of the first part, we are focusing on the special talk. The talk will be done together with Ali Nikram, who is a researcher of Ars Electronica Futurelab. We are talking about what's the latest state of art of AI and music now. So I hope you enjoy today. If you would like to participate in this dialogue, please post your comments on the YouTube Live, and also we are utilizing your comments and also questions in the discussions. So let's begin today's guided tour.
Yes, welcome. And this is really one of our greatest exhibitions we are currently holding here in the Ars Electronica Center, AI meets music. So this is really the encounter of artificial intelligence and human creativity. And why is music such a perfect example for this going together? Music was always, since hundreds, since thousands of years, driven by technology and by craftsmanship. So bringing together these two parts, this old part, music, which is really maybe the most emotional part of art, and technology is not an idea of today or the last years, but it's here since thousands of years, and I will show you some examples why this is so, and why a look into the background of music instruments, even old music instruments, helps us to understand a little bit more about the connection between technology and society. Our first example here is a flute. A flute which was created about 1,100 years ago, and it's really interesting. This is a programmable instrument. So this was the try of two brothers, Banu Musa, to program the playing of a flute. And it's happening quite easily by putting the fingers into these rings here. I show it with only 2 or 3 because my fingers are a little bit thick. And then I play the flute, and by playing, you see it here down, then you get this mark on this wooden part here. And this wooden part normally is spinning a little bit, and you make these marks. So this is the first way to program this machine. So this is the code what we are doing here. And then, of course, you need the second part. The first thing is to program it and then to get it back into life. And this is what these two brothers already invented more than 1,000 years ago. We have here, and what you see here in detail, this is where it was carved out. So here are the marks where with this programming it was okay, here is to carve it out, and then we can now show how this music was played, and this is for us really a great possibility to get an idea of how is the thinking of what when we humans try to imitate ourselves. We have to find a way of programming a machine and then to make this program run again. And now I will start it, and please don't be too angry about the way it plays. Bano Musa. And so we have here a first impression of the idea of artificial intelligence. Because what is artificial intelligence in its core? It's the imitation of human ability by the use of machines. And making music is one of our first abilities. And we have here a lot of examples. When you take a look into this great exhibition, we have not only this flute here, we have this. It's about 300 years old, a flute organ. Also, we see here this programming. We see here, this is the code of this machine. Again, it was the idea, how can we bring a machine into making music? And of course, not only this craftsmanship is important for creating such great instruments, of course, it's the creativity of us humans and the input of artists. And there we would really like to focus on nowadays artwork from Japan. It's from Maiwa Denki. Maybe Hide can find some words about this.
Before going to this piece presentation, I'd like to also address the importance to look at the history, especially media technology and art and craftsmanship. So how would you like to leave your message? How would you like to enjoy the time? You know, so music itself was a very fundamental expression for humans. Therefore, the curiosity, you know, to the music from, you know, dance and also really rituals and ceremony and also entertainment, you can really look back how humans are very focused on this topic. And then as you observe the first demo by the Moritz Simon Geist, the title was Making Techno with Music Robots. That's one approach how, you know, artists can invent their own tools to express the, you know, musical performance. But not only that, all of us will look many very interesting, you know, creativities are found locally and depending on the places. Then this piece, Maiwa Denki's project, is a totally different approach, but the point is, yeah, let's see how it is. Just look at this. As you saw there, Christoph's example, programmable media was, a very hot topic. But now, looking at artists, they are not just presenting this as the programmable object, but artists are also utilizing this as a kind of partner, as a collaborator, not just a mere instrument, but artists are developing this and also collaborating as a, really performance creation. Then very interesting thing is, as you can observe here, this is called Simmons is imitating the voice print actually. So from the air, like by using lung and also, and also mechanically, the artist could make very interesting mixture of engineering and also this process to produce sound. And also looking at the automaton, you can see this is not just a instrument, like typical instrument, like a piano or violin or something like this. You can have this, you can fold, you can really communicate with audience. In this way, artists are always looking for their own tool and medium to express and to search for new creative expressions in music.
Yes, and there are so many examples. We would have the possibility to fill the whole museum with these great installations. We decided to only make one part of the museum, but what we've got here is a great timeline. It's bringing the first ideas 100 years before Christ, a water organ, the Banomusa flute we have seen, and this leads us into the field of music instruments which play for themselves, so they are imitating our making music of humans. But we don't only have this, we have great examples like dices. You can use two dices and compose waltzes in the style of Mozart. This is more than 300 years ago. And of course, it's getting more and more in the electronic, in the computer direction, and it's not by accident that Ars Electronica was in the beginning, in 1979, really a big focus was on computer music. So this is the beginning of Ars Electronica, and we see here why, because it is one of these great dreams of humankind. How can we use machines to imitate ourselves and to find the way how to do this? And this, of course, is interesting to see, and all these more than 100 examples, they lead us into the today's possibilities of what we can do with artificial intelligence, and then the great link to creativity, and this will be in the next room.
So as Christopher explained, you observe the history of media technologies and also the artistic processes. And so this case, you observe very interesting context. As Christopher explained, automation was a very first important key element. And also, if we are, contextualizing the encounter between AI and music, we shouldn't forget about autonomy. It's a very fundamental shift of, from automation to autonomization is really background of social circumstances as well as the latest technologies. So that's the reason why these very unique chemical reactions are now about to start.
Yes, it's about to start, and it's about to really create new forms of possible interaction between our understanding of art, our understanding of creativity by the use of artificial intelligence. What we've got here is really the staging of one of the greatest projects. It's focusing on the way how artificial intelligence is already making possible to compose in the style of different famous composers. The example what we've got here is based on OpenAI, this research unit from the United States. In the second part, with the talk with Ale Nikrang, he will tell a little bit about his own composing artificial intelligence. But with further ado, I would say take a look at what's possible right now. Are we in time? Important question, I would say. This is based on this MuseNet artificial intelligence, which was trained by the use of hundreds of different music works from artists, and then now there's the possibility to create new things in the style of some artist. What we've got here, this example, was we had some, the starting short sequence was from Mozart. Maybe you have heard that. And then the artificial intelligence was told to now keep on doing this, composing it in the style of Frédéric Chopin. So we have now this really, this is a unique music work, starting with Mozart and then in the style of Frédéric Chopin. And this is what is possible right now in using artificial intelligence. And of course, with this new form, and this is so for us, the final part of our timeline, this raises, of course, the big questions which are all linked with artificial intelligence. Is this legal to do it? Why do we do it? Is this bringing positive effort onto our society? How do we deal with these possibilities? And how do we deal as a society? And so these questions we want to ask. To be honest, we don't have the one and single and easy answer for this, but this is not the purpose of this exhibition. This exhibition should really bring this topic into our visitors, into our audience, and make these things discussable. And this is what we're trying to do. I want to show you a second example. It's based on another famous composer. Maybe you find out who it is. this is based on the works of Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach. And this was really from scratch. So it was only the machine asked, please compose something in the style of Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach, and this is the outcome. Not that bad, I would say. Yes, Hide.
Okay, so yeah, great. As you saw, actually this piano is a Bosendorfer from Austria, and from my perspective, also this is quite unique intersection because Austria is known as such kind of traditional music and also craftsmanship to produce such artifact. And in 2005, through a collaboration between Bosendorfer and also the Vienna University of Technology, actually they integrated and make the new types of this automation, automated piano by having computer technologies, but in 2005. So now, 2020, this year, so as you observe, not just automation, you observe the moment to make autonomization in the process though still. But I think you understand the historical flow, how humans are facing to such very unique moment in the process of production of the music by using artificial intelligence. So since time is getting short, yeah, I would like to check the also QA, but if you have any questions, just please post your questions to the chat box on the YouTube Live. But Christoph, maybe you could answer to my question. Now, we observe this very unique collaboration in a way between humans and AI. What's gonna be the core value, by this unique collaboration? Or what's the meaning of, in a way, part of humans? Of course, this is a quite a typical discussion. So many musicians and players related to music. Really, now we would like to discuss, what's the core meaning and value about our participation and production and creative process. Very difficult question.
Yeah, so it's not an easy answer for this.
No.
In my opinion, in our opinion, this artificial intelligence used in this way is a perfect mirror for ourselves. So we can really think about all these questions because we have these possibilities of artificial intelligence composing music. And of course, these are the big questions which leads much wider than only the things, what is the meaning of artificial intelligence for us? It's the meaning of what is creativity, not only focusing creativity with artificial intelligence, creativity in the whole scale. What is the meaning of bringing new things? And is imitation creativity? I think a lot of big companies, a lot of big artists were successful because they were great imitators. So is creativity, is bringing new things, is success? What are all these factors for us? And these are the questions we can focus on and we can discuss now. Because we have this great mirror, in my opinion, it really brings in the final key for us that we have, and this is all the thing with artificial intelligence, we have to solve these questions because now we have this artificial intelligence, but they are not only dealing with our way to use this, but our way to deal with all these big questions of our society. And of course, it's accelerating now the needs of the answers. And this is what I found so really interesting in this exhibition. To be honest, it's enough to share 30 minutes here, and then you are able to discuss all these things in a much higher level and to find your own questions, because your own answers, because this is what we want to do. We want to help our visitors, our audience, to find the right questions. The answer, everyone, of course, has to find in himself.
So second question to me from my side, integrating also, as a comment. connecting to last series, last session, Understanding AI, we observe very interesting tendency, the importance of data set. Also here, looking at the data set, it was from Mozart, or, in a way, from past. That's very interesting because are we creating, of course, as humans, creating something new from inputs that we learned? Or, are we able to have very, unexpected, unconscious, but it's just unconscious maybe. My question to you is AI able to create future? Because this is really, based on the older data set, and what's the importance in, learning process?
In my personal opinion, right now it's not possible for AI to create future, but maybe it will be. Maybe the programs are getting better. And this was for us the idea to put this artistic work really in the starting of this lecture from Moritz Simon Geist, the robots making techno, because there you see human creativity. He was using old parts of a computer to create a new instrument. So this is not imitating someone or imitating a composer who was great. He was really putting things new together and create a new instrument. And I don't think that artificial intelligence by now is able to do this. Absolutely. Humans are able to do this. I don't know what will be the next years will bring, but right now I think this creativity and this creating new things is our human ability, which cannot imitate it by now.
Yeah, absolutely. The performance and also music expression is not just a part of a composition, as you say, like including physical performance, including breathing, and also live, and also setting and context. It's a kind of total kind of artistic expression. This case, of course, to make such kind of music based on the artificial intelligence might be, of course, one way, but just one way, and it's going to be a process and a tool. How to utilize this as a part of a collaboration is very important, and how to frame this creative energies from in a way artificial process. It's pretty different from automation concept, because automation is when you push the button, everything is executed. But automation is fundamentally different concept from automation, because automation is designed in the frame, but automation is a kind of forced to be out of the frame, right? So I think how to deal with this very unique kind of state of this element could be considered. But Chris, a final question. As Ars Electronica Center, we have in a way very unique laboratory. As you mentioned, here is a very experimental laboratory that artists can, and also local musicians try to test such a new tool. What's your future plan about the use of AI meets music?
What we haven't seen in this tour, but we have an open sound studio here in our exhibition, where it is possible to play with these things. If you are not an expert, but also if you are a composer, you can try things out, you can experiment with this. And of course, this is the idea, or this is one of the ideas, to bring these possibilities directly to the one who wants to experiment with this. Maybe they find out, okay, that's not helping me in my artistic work, but of course, someone will be there who say, okay, this is what I was missing for my future work. And this is what we want. We want to open these things, in the one hand for the discussion, in the second hand for the use of it. But by using it, then you have, of course, a much better possibility to discuss it. So there's the same thing in our whole Ars Electronica Center exhibitions. We want to really get closer to all the things, make the things feelable. So you as a visitor, as an audience, can get really in this momentum of getting touched, getting involved. And this is what we plan here. And of course, we are looking forward for new installations. And the next talk, Ali Nikrang, he created an artificial intelligence system who is able to compose in a different way like MuseNet. And this is our next step. We want to include this here in this installation. So of course we will include, or we will compile the new developments what we see worldwide into this exhibition.
I hope you understand the entire flow, and also I'm very happy that to show the starting elements to discuss the latest condition situations of artificial intelligence and music. Yeah, I think it's time, and so thank you very much for watching the first part of today's artistic journalism. The theme was AI meets music, but after 10 minutes, we are starting the really core parts of the latest situations of AI and music by Adi Nikram, who is a key researcher of Ars Electronica Futurelab. So please stay tuned and see you in 10 minutes.
And see me in 2 weeks when we are going to our unique Deep Space 8K. I'm looking forward. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. So welcome back, Artistic Journalism. Today's edition is focusing on AI meets music. As you observe and enjoy at the guided tour by Christopher Kremer together with me, we check the histories and also context how AI meets the music. In the second edition, we are focusing on the really latest artistic research conducted by Ars Electronica Futurelab. Today's really wonderful guest is Ali Nikran, who is a key researcher of the Futurelab. Maybe before starting your presentation, I just would like to ask you the very fundamental thoughts on the historical elements, how humans really, and also musicians and artists tried to create their own tool and the environment and the new medium to express ourselves. So do you have any ideas about such kind of historical process from really old time to be now? What's the kind of core elements and the passions by artists? Because you are artists as well, yeah?
Should I start?
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you very much for introducing, and welcome to this talk about AI and musical creativity. Of course, music and technology, the relationship between music and technology has a long history. So artists have been trying, to simplify music to make it accessible for everybody. So even in the classical music, even if you think about Mozart, Bach, they have some kind of, mathematical kind of music composition systems where you can combine things with each other's and segments with each other's, and you can combine and create a new piece of music based on the combination of different elements. But of course nowadays we have other possibilities, and this is exactly the topic of the talk here. We will discuss questions like, can machines be creative at all? Because it's an open question. And we will also ask, how can machines support us to compose music? It's exactly the question you asked, but now we have the machines, we have powerful machines that we can use for this purpose. First of all, I would like to maybe to give you a short technical background about how current state-of-the-art AI systems can compose music technically. And I would like to give you two real-world examples of our projects that we have done recently. The one is a performance of AI-based music composition, and the second one is an application that we are developing currently, and it is able to create music that sounds natural and human. We will, of course, also discuss artistic backgrounds of these results and the artistic meaning of these results, and discuss the challenges and limitations that come with these systems. But I think the most important question first is, why is data generation interesting for academic research at all? So as you know, AI systems, they are trained with examples, and the so-called generative systems, they are able to generate news data that is similar to the data that is in the training set. And the basic idea or the assumption is that if we have an AI system that is able to generate music, or to generate data actually, that is similar to the data in the training set, the model must have learned some kind of essential understanding of the data with which it is trained. Consider we have an AI system that is able to generate human faces, like the one have been shown last time in this lecture. And the model actually has to learn something about human faces. It has to learn where are the eyes, for example, where is the nose, and it will also learn some kind of constraint. For example, that human beings could have different eye colors, but it is very, very unlikely that we have two eye colors in one face. All these kind of constraints should be learned by the model. And we can say the same also for text generation or for music generation. And why is it interesting for creative tasks? Because AI systems, they are able to be trained with very large amount of data, and very often they can see and discover dependencies and relationships in the data that human observers might not have been aware of. And therefore, they can serve as a new source of inspiration for creative tasks. In the case of music composition, we have a very similar situation. It means we can train AI systems with a large amount of examples, and the AI system should be able at the end to generate similar data. But it is worth to mention that similar data doesn't mean that the data exists in the data set. It shouldn't be the case. Similar data in the case of music would be data that is, first of all, correct in terms of tonal music theory, for example, if it is our task. And, but even if something is correct, it doesn't mean that it sounds natural, because if you have a chord that is repeating, so nothing is wrong about that chord. So the chord is not wrong in the sense of music theory, but repeating chord would sound unnatural because it's boring and it's not really music. And therefore, it should also sound natural. There is no definition of what natural sounding means, but we know that if we listen to a music, we can recognize if it is natural or not. And of course, it is also very interesting in terms of music composition that the result is not existing in the training set. Because human beings, we are very sensitive about recognizing melodies, even if they occur with variations and in different tempos and speeds. So we can recognize them. And of course, it's not something that we want, that the AI system composes something that we already know. In summary, we have a training set of AI systems, and we want to generate similar data in the case of generative models. But it is interesting to mention that research has shown that ideas originally coming from natural language processing research can successfully be used also in the field of music composition. So natural language processing is an area of research that investigates interaction between computers and human language. So we have subtasks like speech recognition, text understanding, text generation. So I think you can imagine how important this area is, because it's a natural kind of interface that we could use to interact with machines, because we can just use our natural language. And text generation can be used not only for generating new text, but also for translation or text summarization or question answering and other tasks that are similar. And actually, the idea of generating text is very simple. So the idea of how to train the model to generate text. All what the model has to learn is to predict the next word, given the previous words, for example, or given a context. The context can be, of course, the previous words, or the context can be the surrounding words. So it depends on the model. There are different approaches and different ideas here. And so the basic idea is, again, in order to predict the next word, the model must learn a basic understanding of the language and the world, because language is very, very related to the world in which we are living. And I will give you an example about that. Consider the sentence, today is a beautiful day, and we want to generate the last word, which is day. And we know today is a day. It means today has the type day, and we need something that is of type day. So it means it could be today is a beautiful Friday, or today is a beautiful Wednesday, or today is a beautiful day, as it was before. But maybe we have another context, and maybe today is a title of a piece of music. Maybe today is a beautiful piece of music. In that case, of course, it's a little more challenging. But for us humans, it is a fact. If we read something like this, for us, it's a fact that in this context, in this document, today is a piece of music, or today is a beautiful book. And good AI systems or natural language processing systems should be able actually to deal with that if this fact occurs somewhere in the document before. But there are other examples that are more complex, because in the case before, at least we had the fact in the document, but sometimes the fact is in the word and it's not in the document itself. Consider the sentence, the animal couldn't cross the street because it was too tired. And you know, it requires a deep understanding of the world, because we all know that an animal can be tired, but the street cannot be tired. And we need that information because we have this it at the end. The animal couldn't cross the street because it was too tired. We know it refers to the animal, but how should a machine know that it doesn't refer to the street? Why is the street not tired? So this kind of knowledge is something that we have because we are living in this world, but machines don't. And it's a challenging task. Therefore, this sentence is very famous in the area of natural language processing research. And we need this for translation, because if you want to translate it to German or to French, you actually have to know to what this it refers, because you have different articles for the word. Coming back to music, the idea was for text generation, the prediction of the next word can only be possible if the model has learned an essential understanding of the language. What we do for music is very, very similar. We just say the prediction of the next note can be possible if the model has learned an essential understanding of music. And instead of words, of course, we use sequences of notes for music generation. And for each musical note, we need at least 3 different information units. We need the onset time, we need the offset time, and we need the pitch of the note, of course. There are many possibilities how to represent music as a sequence of words or notes or elements. But one very simple possibility would be what I added here. So we see P refers to pitch, so it means we play pitch 16. It's a MIDI number, and then we wait 300 milliseconds, and then we play pitch 26, 32, 36, 40, and wait again to 200 milliseconds. And then we release or end pitch 16 and 36 and 40 and wait again 100 milliseconds and so on. So you can see it's like a sentence, like a text, and it's a one-dimensional sequence, but it represents actually all what we need for music representation. And it is also interesting to mention that we don't provide the model any rules or expert knowledge about music, for example, from the music theory. The model has to learn everything by itself. And it is something that, I like earlier systems. The idea here is to build a system that is able to learn everything by itself. And in the early age of AI, people try to build systems based on rules, for example, extracted from music theory. But nowadays, researchers tend to build a system or an architecture that is able to learn. It means that that we are not giving the model any information about what music is and what harmonies are or what rhythms are. All these things have to be learned by the system itself. And this idea turned out to be more successful than assigning rules to the system, which probably makes sense for humans since we know much more besides the rules and know how to interpret the rules, but AI systems maybe can learn better if they learn everything by themselves. Let me give you an example. It's a piece of music that was composed by an AI system we currently are developing at Ars Electronica Futurelab. And the performance is from this year's Ars Electronica Festival, and you will see a self-playing piano plays the music composed by the AI together with human musicians. So I think, as a matter of fact, we can say that today's AI systems are really able to trigger deep emotional responses in us. And we become more and more aware that music is also something that can be learned and reproduced through statistical patterns of musical data. And AI systems have the ability to serve as a new powerful source of inspiration from music. But the question that arises here is actually, can we call it art? And of course, how to estimate the creative value of the result. It is, of course, a very difficult question. We could use the definition, or one definition for creativity, that says that creativity is a new combination of elements that is of value. So it means we have 2 points here: the newness, the novelty of the elements, of the combination actually, and the value. The novelty is easier to estimate because all we have to do is to look at the training set and see if the result occurs in the training set. And if it doesn't, it means, okay, it was a new combination that was generated by the AI system. But the creative value is more difficult because we are actually talking about artistic value here. And we all know that it is, even for humans, very difficult to estimate artistic value always. We all know about many great artists in human history who have been highly underestimated in their lifetime. But nonetheless, what we could do is we can use some music theoretical points of view to estimate the, the value of the result. It means, for example, based on melodic complexity, harmonic complexity, rhythmic complexity, and all these things that we learn in music theory. And to call it art, I think personally the problem is the intention. Because we always have intention to create something. When I talk to you in this lecture, for example, I have the intention to share something with you. And if I create something, if I write something, even if I write an email, I have the intention to do something, to share something. And this is what we actually need for any kind of creation. And of course, for artistic creation, it is much more important. And we all know that AI systems cannot give us intention because they don't have any intention to create or to create meaning. And for intention, we need humans. But you could argue that, on the other hand, of course, listeners can also interpret a personal meaning in a piece of art and have their own intention for interpretation. And our perception of art is also a question of personal interpretation, of course. So I would say, at the end of the day, it is up to us to consider an object as an artwork or not. But nonetheless, I think we could agree that human involvement is crucial for an AI system to generate art. But how can the collaboration between humans and AI systems look like? It's actually a very, very important question, I think, in terms of new AI systems, because the interaction and collaboration possibilities are very limited now. And the aspect of interaction and collaboration between AI systems and humans was not given so much attention in the last years. And AI systems are therefore used as tools rather than counterparts. And as a result, the output of the system cannot be satisfactorily influenced by the users. AI systems are very complex systems. We know they can deal with billions and millions of parameters. And this is a good question, that's how the interaction with such complex system can be. Because especially if we are talking about creative tasks, so we also need creative ways of interaction with AI systems. And this is the reason why we investigate at Futurelab new ways of interaction and collaboration with AI systems, especially for music composition. Now I would like to show you a video of Recherka. Recherka is our AI system that is able to compose music. It is trained with 25,000 examples, mainly from the area of classical music. And it can compose music that sounds natural and emotional, I would say. It is also the system that composed the piece we just heard before, the performance. So I will start the video. Okay. Let me show you an example of how we can compose music with Recherker. As soon as we press the Compose button, the model offers us 5 different ways to start the piece. We take this suggestion and let the model continue by just pressing the Compose button again. The model gives us again 5 different ways to continue. Let's check some of them. We take this version and continue. We can again play different possibilities and decide for one of them. We take this alternative and continue with the composition. The result can be exported as a MIDI file and be performed on digital instruments. Can of course also be performed by human musicians. The video showed a very simple possibility of how to interact with AI system, with an AI system to compose music. But please note that we continuously evaluate different possibilities of interaction and collaboration, and not all of them were shown in the video. The question now is, how can we use such a system for our benefits, and what is the goal of developing such systems? I mean, there are different possibilities and different ideas, but one idea is, of course, that music is supposed to be a universal language, we all know, and one idea is to use this system to make it accessible and possible for everybody to express himself or herself in music. Because we all know artists, people, they communicate emotions through music, and we know there is a huge gap between, especially in the field of written music, there is a huge gap between composing music and enjoying music and listening to music. And you know, if you want to compose music and write music, you have to, first of all, you have to know how to write and read music. You have to maybe be able to play an instrument. You have to know something about music theory. And all these things are not very intuitive, but listening to music and enjoying music is very intuitive for us. So it means, in other words, AI systems could shrink this gap between, between composing music, the difficulties and the theory, and give us and offer us a more intuitive way of composing music. And it can build new creative possibilities for everybody. But AI can also give us a new perspective on music itself, because for now we see music as a, as a set of pieces, as a set of masterpieces. But AI systems, they see music more like a space, because once an AI system is trained with examples, with musical pieces, the result of the training is actually a space, a vector space, containing weights and bias that have been learned during the training. And composition with an AI system is nothing else than discovering this space. So it means we just go into the space and just, I would say, walk around this space, and we can compose music in that way. And it can give us a new perspective on music. If you have a favorite composer, you can just go to his or her position in this space and walk around, and it would give you new pieces of music or new music that sounds like the artist you wanted to hear. And on the other hand, I think AI system could also give us a new perspective on how we see music, because I would like to maybe to show you first an example. Because AI systems, they are trained with the data, and they actually develop their own perspective and their own ideas about music. And it is something very interesting to observe the activities of an AI system while it is listening to music. And in this example that was presented during this year's festival, again, it's the same. We use actually the same neural network as we had in Recerca for composing music. But instead of composing music with the neural network, we fed the network with existing pieces of music, in this case with one piece of music composed by Bach. And we just observed the activities of the neurons, and then we created a similarity map of the activities. It means for each time frame, we calculated the similarity to all other time frames in the piece of music. And the result was this beautiful structure that actually that actually shows us that music doesn't only sound beautiful, but it can also look beautiful. In summary, AI can create beautiful and emotional music, and AI creativity needs human, as it has no intention, no why to create. And to create meaning, we need the intention to create. It was what we have been talking about. And of course, for intention, we need AI systems, because machines are not able to have intentions. Thank you very much for your attention.
Yeah, great. So thank you very much. So today we have quite many students and pupils who are interested in this latest topic under the umbrella of artistic journalism. And as you are the, in a way, artistic journalist, you could tell us the latest, conditions, situations. And also, I was very fascinated about your ideas that, we humans have intention, but AI doesn't. So how to, collaborate, in a creative intelligence process. that's really interesting current, ongoing situation. So maybe for some people, I think as being as such, new types of artistic journalists in my world, though, they are interested in your background. Before talking about the speculative, discussions about AI and humans, but I would like to ask you for telling us your background, how you are dealing with this topic, and what's your motivation from the background. Would you tell us about it?
Sure. So I have my background in computer science.
Yeah.
I studied computer science at Keio University here in Linz, and I also have a background in composition from University Mozarteum Salzburg and a diploma in piano performance. So I'm kind of involved in both areas, and but for me it's more interesting. I mean, it is very difficult to explain what I am doing, because it's very special, like what we do at the Futurelab. It's actually the combination of both fields. So it is about I am investigating actually art, because the result is art of an AI system. But to do that, we need to build new AI systems that are able to to create art. So in other words, I don't see myself as artist, because I'm not creating art directly. So more like a teacher, because I teach AI systems how to to create art.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. So I think that's exactly the point that many people are wondering. The fact, and because we can find many persons, experts working specialized for AI itself. They can create algorithm. But it's quite a rare case, like you, who is really who knows about the actual, the applied area, like in this case, music compositions. So that combination is a very unique advantage. Hybrid, this interdisciplinary, background allows you to access to be, this unknown domain, and my very a little bit speculative question. So, as from what I got inspired was, like in the future, what's gonna be the metaphor of the meaning of use of AI is getting quite interesting to me. And for instance, like data set, is this like soil? I'm talking about a little bit like agriculture, like when humans have intention to make a fruits, you maybe put seeds. This is a part of human creative elements, but of course we needed to watering and we needed to take care. But the algorithm allows give us a tool, to cultivate the soil, and the data set might be fundamental soil, so to nurture these, things, and the music itself is a fruit. That was what I just got the inspiration. But do you agree with this? Or what's going to be the your kind of impression and metaphor? What's going to be?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very beautiful analogy, actually, I would say, because yes, you can say that. So it is the data set is something that we we get from human history, because the data sets, in the case of music, it's not generated today. So it's something, you have pieces from Renaissance until pop music. You can have anything in the data set. And algorithms, they are tools. They are our technology that are able to find hidden features in the data, or hidden relationships and ideas in the data, and the fruit is, of course, the result, which is the music.
Yeah. And in a way, new agriculture domain, I just want to ask you, do you know something that difficult types of music that it's difficult to grow as a fruit, because as you showed us today, there are quite many classical pieces, right? Like but rock and reggae and many types of music, of course, existing. can you tell us your kind of insights about what's the most kind of difficult, fruits
Sure,
to be produced?
I have an idea about that.
Yeah.
So I don't think that we can say that this style is difficult. So I think styles, they can be learned.
Yeah.
But actually, there is, how can I explain it? Simple pieces, they are much difficult to produce as difficult or complex pieces. Okay. Because in complex pieces you have, at least in the terms in the field of classical music, in complex pieces you have these kind of chromatic and this kind of complex harmonies and everything. So it is more unique how to continue. But the greatest moments in art are very often very, very simple, because you just have 2-3 notes or maybe you really simple structures, but it is the way how they are combined and how they occur and or how they, in which context they occur, and it makes art actually. And this is something that AI systems, at least what I have discovered, are not able to really to produce, because they are statistical machines and they depend on the statistic, and of course they also learn simple structures, but the trick is how to use the simple structures and where to use these simple structures. And this is something that I think it's very difficult to produce with AI systems. But on the other hand, because maybe it's again about intention, because if you use simple structures, you have the intention to use them in a very, very certain way. And the solution would be if we use human involvement, and if humans are involved in the process of creation, then we could also generate these kind of structures. But AI alone, I think it's not able to produce these kind of magic moments.
Yeah, right. And also I used to work for, the GAN system, and what we can observe in the system is it's hard, impossible to generate the future, so because they are learning from the past, asset. So in my understanding is that for creating the future, we need a human, inputs and the efforts to really contextualize the meaning. And because, as you say, the simplicity is coming from our brain in a way, as a kind of understanding, right? So as a brain detects, kind of not just the music, but acoustic, but environmental setting and even the persons, who made this music. These kind of 4 things are going to be the elements to make the future moment, in a way, your words, a magic moment, right? So that's really cool things. Since the time is getting short, I just want to see, but I would like to ask, normally maybe in the typical journalistic, interview, you might be being asked by journalists, okay, Mr. Ali, what's going to be the future, I think this is a kind of approach like a forecasting, But today on purpose, I'm not doing forecasting, but I would like to do backcasting. Backcasting means I would like to ask you for telling us your dream and wish and what's going to be, 20 years later, what would you like to achieve instead of, forecasting? Would you tell us?
Sure. So I mentioned it already in the presentation. So for me, the dream, what I really would like to have, so that researchers are able, or we are able all to create such system, is the new perspective of music. For me personally, it is very interesting. It means seeing music as a space, and it means discovering the music. So for now, it was just what I mentioned before. For now, we have music is a set of pieces of masterpieces of pieces of music, but it can be a space, and this is my dream, so to speak, to go to this space and to navigate this space. So it would be actually very nice.
Yeah, and also maybe together with more also tangible performances.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because tangible performances are totally changing the meaning. Also that's the point. The AI itself is, as we described today, like a tool, to cultivate the soil. But the soil itself is a heritage and also very important creative, energies, sources where humans developed, right? Then how to build and some structure, but how to consider such nature, growing up like a tree and getting fruits. So this case, I think, like maybe in 20 years later, we can play, together, in between you and me to maybe sing blues, but driven by AI. But we can do the blues session or something like this.
Expressing himself or herself in music. It is exactly the idea, actually.
So that's gonna be great. So okay, then I hope you enjoy it a little bit. Interesting, discourses, a little bit different from normal journalistic perspective. That's, I think, part of artistic journalism, allowing us to face to the, look at the future. Because, like media, conventional media, and also we humans tend to go to the future by watching at the past, This is a very famous quote from Marshall McLuhan, right? But it's also another quote is media is message. How we can consider this new medium to look at the future. I think in this case, such like early and the new types of artists can really let us know about the future directions. So that's I would say part of the artistic journalism. So thank you very much for watching this edition, Artistic Journalism AI Meets Music today. So next edition is coming in 2 weeks, and the theme will be going to be more quite serious aspect, like deep issues. Deep issues means global issues that, and everyone, and also as global citizens, how we can confront with like climate change or dignity and information media tech society and the filter bubbles as well through the artistic research. And so we would like to focus on the topic. So thank you very much again, Ali. So I hope you enjoy and have a nice, really great weekend, and take care of yourself. Ciao, bye-bye.